Good evening, friends. Today, let's talk about a topic that's often misunderstood: failure. Many of us see failure as an enemy, but what if I told you that failure is one of the best teachers life has to offer? What if I told you that success isn't about avoiding failure, it's about embracing it, learning from it, and using it as a stepping stone? You see, success doesn't come from perfection, it comes from persistence. It's not built by avoiding failure, but by mastering it. Tonight, I want to challenge you to fail your way to your own success. And when I say fail your own success, I mean fail with purpose, fail with passion, and fail forward. Here are 7 key principles to remember as you harness failure to build your success story. Redefine failure. Failure is not the end, it's an integral part of the journey. Unfortunately, many of us are taught to fear failure, to see it as a reflection of our inadequacies or a definitive roadblock to success. This belief can hold us back, making us hesitant to take risks or explore new opportunities. But failure is not the opposite of success, it's a stepping stone toward it. To truly thrive, we must redefine what failure means in our lives and reshape how we respond to it. First, let's acknowledge a fundamental truth: failure is inevitable. Whether you're pursuing personal goals, professional milestones, or creative endeavors, setbacks are part of the process. They don't signify incompetence or lack of worth, they signify effort. The act of failing means you dared to try, to stretch beyond your current capabilities, and to challenge yourself in meaningful ways. Without failure, there is no growth, because playing it safe keeps you in a zone of familiarity where no real progress occurs. Consider some of the world's most impactful achievements. Behind every groundbreaking invention, business empire, or artistic masterpiece lies a trail of failures. Thomas Edison, for example, famously failed thousands of times before successfully inventing the light bulb. He didn't view each failed attempt as wasted effort, but as a critical step in the discovery process. This perspective allowed him to persevere where others might have quit. Failure, in this context, became a source of clarity, a way to eliminate what didn't work and refine the path forward. Redefining failure starts with changing how we interpret it. Failure is not a personal flaw or a reason to stop its feedback. It provides valuable information about what needs adjustment, whether that's your approach, strategy, mindset, or timing. Every failure holds a lesson waiting to be uncovered, but you can only access it if you're willing to examine the experience without judgment. When you shift from seeing failure as a defeat to seeing it as a teacher, you unlock the power to grow stronger and wiser with every misstep. Moreover, failure challenges us to reassess our goals and motivations. Sometimes what we perceive as a failure is simply life redirecting us toward a better path. It forces us to confront questions like, is this truly what I want? Or am I approaching this in the best way in this sense? Failure becomes an opportunity for alignment, a moment to recalibrate and ensure that your actions reflect your values and aspirations. Another aspect of redefining failure involves separating your identity from the outcomes you experience. Too often, people internalize failure believing it defines who they are. But failure is an event, not a person. You are not your mistakes, you are the sum of how you respond to them. By detaching your self-worth from the results, you free yourself to take risks without the fear of losing your sense of value. Failure also has the power to build resilience. Each time you fail and choose to get back up, you strengthen your ability to face adversity. You learn to trust in your capacity to overcome challenges, even when the odds seem stacked against you. This resilience becomes a cornerstone of success, enabling you to tackle bigger goals and handle greater uncertainties. Finally, redefining failure means embracing it as a natural and necessary part of any worthwhile endeavor. If you're not failing, you're likely not pushing yourself hard enough. The absence of failure often means you're staying within your comfort zone, avoiding risks and limiting your potential. Failure, on the other hand, signifies boldness. It's a testament to your courage to dream big and act on those dreams, even in the face of uncertainty. When you redefine failure, it transforms from a source of shame into a badge of honor. It becomes less about what went wrong and more about what you learned, how you grew, and what you're going to do next. It's no longer something to fear or avoid. It's something to embrace, analyze, and use as a tool for reaching higher and achieving more than you ever thought possible. Failing forward is progress. Failure is often viewed as a setback, something that halts momentum and creates distance between us and our goals. But in reality, failure is one of the most powerful forms of progress when we learn to fail forward. Failing forward is the ability to use each failure as a stepping stone, a way to move closer to success instead of letting setbacks define us or derail our journey. It's not about avoiding failure, it's about extracting value from it and continuing to push forward with purpose. When you fail forward, you shift your mindset to see every failure as a part of the process rather than the end of the road. It's about acknowledging that progress doesn't always look like smooth, uninterrupted growth. Sometimes it's messy, uneven, and punctuated by mistakes and challenges, but each time you fall and choose to rise again, you're not starting over, you're starting from experience. Every attempt, even those that don't yield the desired results, builds on the last one, equipping you with new insights, skills, and resilience. Failing forward requires a proactive approach to failure. Instead of dwelling on what went wrong, you take the time to reflect on the experience and analyze it. What did you learn? What can you do differently next time? This process of reflection turns failure into a learning opportunity, allowing you to adapt and refine your approach. It's not about pretending the failure didn't happen, it's about understanding it so you can grow from it. Another key aspect of failing forward is maintaining momentum. Too often, failure leads to paralysis, a fear of trying again because of the possibility of repeating the mistake. But failing forward means refusing to let failure immobilize you. It's about taking the lessons learned and immediately applying them to your next step. Each small action taken after a failure is progress, even if it doesn't feel like it in the moment. Over time, these incremental steps compound, bringing you closer to your goals. Failing forward also involves embracing discomfort. Failure often comes with feelings of disappointment, frustration, or even embarrassment. These emotions are natural, but they don't have to be permanent. Failing forward means facing these emotions head-on, processing them, and then using them as fuel to keep moving. It's about choosing courage over comfort, knowing that growth often requires stepping outside of what feels safe and familiar. This mindset allows you to see failure not as a divergence from the path to success, but as a critical part of the journey. Every failure, no matter how significant, carries the potential to teach you something essential about yourself, your goals, and the strategies you're using. It helps you develop a deeper understanding of what works and what doesn't, enabling you to refine your approach and make smarter decisions moving forward. Failing forward also builds resilience. Each time you bounce back from a failure, you reinforce your ability to withstand challenges and persevere. This resilience becomes a powerful asset, allowing you to face future obstacles with confidence. You start to realize that failure is temporary, but the lessons and strength you gain from it are lasting. This shift in perspective helps you approach risks with a sense of curiosity rather than fear, knowing that even if you stumble, you're still making progress. In many ways, failing forward is about persistence. It's the determination to keep going, even when the path is unclear or when you've faced repeated setbacks. This persistence is what separates those who achieve their goals from those who give up too soon. By failing forward, you commit to the idea that every failure is a step closer to success, as long as you're willing to learn, adapt, and keep moving. Resilience is your superpower. Resilience is one of the most essential qualities you can develop in life. It's the ability to recover from setbacks, adapt to challenges, and keep moving forward despite adversity. While talent, intelligence, and resources are often emphasized as keys to success, resilience is the hidden superpower that allows people to navigate uncertainty, overcome obstacles, and thrive in the face of difficulty. It's not just about surviving tough times, it's about growing stronger because of them. At its core, resilience is about mindset. It's the belief that setbacks are temporary and problems can be solved. Resilient individuals don't view challenges as insurmountable. Instead, they see them as opportunities to learn, grow, and prove their strength. This perspective creates a sense of empowerment, allowing you to face even the toughest situations with determination and hope. Resilience transforms adversity from something that stops you into something that shapes you. Developing resilience doesn't mean you won't experience hardship or failure. On the contrary, resilience is forged in the fires of difficulty. It's built through experience, through facing challenges head-on and finding ways to move forward. Each time you encounter a setback and choose to rise again, you're strengthening your resilience. Over time, this becomes a habit, a natural response to obstacles that empowers you to persevere no matter what comes your way. Resilience also involves emotional regulation. Life's difficulties often come with feelings of frustration, disappointment, or fear. These emotions are normal, but resilience allows you to manage them constructively. Instead of being overwhelmed by negative feelings, resilient people acknowledge them, process them, and then channel their energy into solutions. This emotional balance is what enables you to stay focused and maintain clarity even in the midst of chaos. Another critical component of resilience is adaptability. Challenges often require us to change course, rethink strategies, or approach problems in new ways. Resilience gives you the flexibility to pivot when necessary, to let go of what isn't working, and to embrace new possibilities. This adaptability ensures that you're not stuck in one way of thinking or doing, but are instead open to growth and innovation. Resilience is also deeply connected to self-belief. It's about trusting in your ability to handle whatever comes your way. This self-confidence doesn't mean you have all the answers, it means you trust yourself to find them. When you believe in your capacity to overcome challenges, you're more likely to take risks, pursue ambitious goals, and step outside of your comfort zone. This trust in yourself becomes a foundation for both resilience and long-term success. Building resilience requires a strong support system. While resilience is an individual trait, it's often nurtured through relationships. Friends, family, mentors, and colleagues can provide encouragement, perspective, and practical help when times are tough. These connections remind you that you're not alone in your struggles, reinforcing your determination to persevere. Resilience thrives in an environment of positivity, where challenges are met with encouragement and setbacks are seen as part of the journey. Resilience also comes from focusing on what you can control. When faced with adversity, it's easy to feel powerless, especially when circumstances seem overwhelming. Resilient people don't dwell on what's beyond their influence. Instead, they channel their energy into actions they can take. This proactive approach not only builds confidence, but also creates a sense of progress, even in the face of setbacks. They redefine failure and success. The way we define failure and success shapes how we approach life, set our goals, and respond to challenges. Unfortunately, many of us grow up with narrow definitions of these concepts, often rooted in societal expectations or external validation. Success is frequently seen as a flawless outcome and failure as a definitive end. But these rigid definitions don't capture the complexity of real-life journeys. To truly thrive, we must redefine failure and success in a way that empowers us to grow, adapt, and pursue meaningful goals. Failure is often perceived as the absence of success, a signal that something has gone wrong or that we are not good enough. This perspective is not only limiting, but also detrimental to our growth. Failure is not a verdict, it's an event, a single moment in time that offers valuable insights. Every failure provides feedback about what isn't working, what needs adjustment, and what we can do differently moving forward. Rather than labeling it as an endpoint, we can choose to see failure as a stepping stone, an integral part of the learning process that brings us closer to our goals. When we redefine failure, we shift the focus from the result to the effort and lessons learned along the way. Failure becomes less about the disappointment of falling short and more about the courage to try and the wisdom gained from the experience. This reframing allows us to view each setback as an opportunity for growth rather than as a reason to give up. It liberates us from the fear of making mistakes and encourages us to take risks, explore new paths, and aim higher than we might otherwise dare. Similarly, success needs to be re-examined. In our results-driven world, success is often equated with external achievements, wealth, accolades, promotions, or status. While these markers can be meaningful, they don't encompass the full spectrum of what success truly is. Success is not just about reaching a destination, it's about the journey. It's about the persistence, growth, and fulfillment that come from pursuing goals that matter to you. When we redefine success, we begin to prioritize progress over perfection and purpose over validation. Success becomes less about meeting a specific standard and more about living in alignment with our values and aspirations. It's about the personal satisfaction of knowing you gave your best effort, even if the outcome wasn't what you initially envisioned. This broader perspective allows us to find joy and fulfillment in the process rather than tying our happiness solely to the result. Redefining failure and success also means recognizing that they are not opposites, they are interconnected. Failure is not the absence of success, it's often the pathway to it. Many of the most celebrated successes in history were preceded by repeated failures. Every breakthrough, invention, or innovation is built on a foundation of trial and error. This interconnectedness reminds us that failure is not a diversion from the road to success, but an essential part of the journey. This redefinition also requires us to separate our worth from our outcomes. Too often, people internalize failure as a personal flaw or wear success as a badge of identity. But you are not defined by your failures or your successes. They are experiences, not verdicts. By detaching your sense of self-worth from these external outcomes, you free yourself to pursue goals with authenticity and resilience, unburdened by the fear of failure or the pressure of perfection. Finally, redefining failure and success allows us to appreciate the nuances of progress. Success is not always grand or immediate. It can be subtle and incremental. It might look like learning a new skill, overcoming a fear, or simply taking the first step toward a long-term goal. Similarly, failure doesn't have to be catastrophic. It can be a minor setback that redirects us or offers clarity. By embracing this perspective, we learn to celebrate small wins and extract valuable lessons from every misstep, creating a healthier and more sustainable approach to growth. Take responsibility, then take action. Taking responsibility is one of the most empowering choices you can make in life. It means owning your decisions, your actions, and their consequences, both good and bad. It's about acknowledging your role in creating the circumstances you face and recognizing that while you may not control everything, you always have the power to control how you respond. Responsibility isn't about blame, it's about taking ownership, and it is the first step toward creating meaningful change. When you take responsibility, you shift from being a passive observer of your life to an active participant. It's easy to fall into the trap of blaming external factors for setbacks, the economy, other people's actions, or circumstances beyond your control. While these factors can undoubtedly influence your outcomes, focusing solely on them leaves you powerless. By taking responsibility, you reclaim your ability to influence your situation. You stop waiting for things to change and start being the change yourself. Taking responsibility also requires humility and self-awareness. It's not always easy to admit when you've made a mistake or contributed to a problem. But this honesty is essential for growth. When you accept your role in a setback, you open the door to learning and improvement. You give yourself the chance to identify what went wrong, understand why it happened, and develop strategies to avoid similar pitfalls in the future. This process is not about self-criticism, it's about self-reflection and growth. Once you've taken responsibility, the next step is to take action. Responsibility without action is incomplete. It's like acknowledging a problem but doing nothing to solve it. Action is what turns acknowledgement into progress. It's the bridge between where you are and where you want to be. When you take action, you demonstrate to yourself and others that you are committed to making things better, no matter how challenging the circumstances. Taking action doesn't have to mean making dramatic changes overnight. Often it's the small, consistent steps that lead to the most significant transformations. The key is to start somewhere. Identify what you can do right now to address the situation or move closer to your goal. Even if the steps seem minor, they build momentum and create a sense of progress. Each action taken reinforces your belief in your ability to affect change, creating a positive cycle of accountability and achievement. Taking responsibility and then taking action also builds credibility and trust. When you own your mistakes and actively work to correct them, people respect your integrity. They see you as someone who is dependable and committed, someone who doesn't shy away from challenges but faces them head on. This trust extends to your relationships, your career, and your reputation, creating opportunities that might not have been available otherwise. This process also fosters resilience. Taking responsibility means acknowledging that setbacks are part of life and choosing to learn from them rather than being defeated by them. Taking action, in turn, reinforces your ability to bounce back. Each step you take, no matter how small, proves to yourself that you are capable of overcoming obstacles. This resilience becomes a foundation for future success, enabling you to face challenges with confidence and determination. It's important to note that taking responsibility doesn't mean taking on more than your fair share of blame or carrying the weight of others' actions. It's about focusing on what is within your control. By concentrating on your own choices and behaviors, you free yourself from the frustration of trying to change things outside your influence. This clarity allows you to direct your energy where it can have the most significant impact. Taking responsibility, then taking action, also empowers you to rewrite your narrative. You are no longer a victim of circumstances, you are the author of your story. By actively choosing how to respond to challenges and setbacks, you shape your future rather than letting it be dictated by external forces. This sense of agency is incredibly liberating, giving you the confidence to pursue your goals with purpose and determination. At its core, taking responsibility and then taking action is about commitment to yourself, your goals, and your potential. It's about recognizing that while you may not always control the outcome, you always control your effort. This mindset transforms challenges into opportunities and mistakes into stepping stones. It allows you to face life with courage, knowing that you have the power to create meaningful change no matter the circumstances. Surround yourself with encouragers. The people you surround yourself with have a profound impact on your mindset, your energy, and ultimately your success. They influence how you see the world, how you approach challenges, and how you respond to setbacks. This is why it's so important to surround yourself with encouragers, people who lift you up, believe in your potential, and inspire you to become the best version of yourself. Encouragers are not just cheerleaders who applaud your every move. They are individuals who genuinely care about your growth and well-being. They provide constructive feedback, celebrate your victories, and stand by you during tough times. They don't let you settle for mediocrity because they see your potential and challenge you to reach for it. Their belief in you can become a powerful motivator, especially when your own confidence falters. One of the most significant benefits of surrounding yourself with encouragers is the positive environment they create. Life is filled with challenges, and it's easy to become overwhelmed by negativity or self-doubt. Encouragers act as a buffer against these forces. Their optimism and belief in possibilities help to counterbalance the discouragement you may encounter from other sources. Being in their presence reminds you that setbacks are temporary and that success is always within reach with persistence and effort. Encouragers also bring perspective. When you face difficulties or failures, it's easy to get stuck in a cycle of self-criticism or fear. Encouragers help you see the bigger picture. They remind you of your past accomplishments, your strengths, and the progress you've made. This perspective can be incredibly grounding, helping you to refocus on your goals and take the next step forward. Another vital role of encouragers is their ability to challenge you constructively. They don't just tell you what you want to hear, they tell you what you need to hear. If you're veering off course or settling for less than your best, they'll call you out not to tear you down, but to push you toward greater heights. This type of encouragement is rooted in honesty and care, and it helps you grow in ways that would be difficult to achieve on your own. Encouragers also model resilience and a positive attitude. When you're surrounded by people who consistently demonstrate determination and optimism, their behavior starts to influence your own. You begin to adopt their habits, attitudes, and approaches to challenges. This positive reinforcement creates a ripple effect, encouraging you to face your own struggles with the same resolve and enthusiasm. Surrounding yourself with encouragers doesn't just benefit you, it benefits them as well. Encouragement is reciprocal. When you surround yourself with people who uplift you, you naturally start to uplift them in return. This creates a cycle of positivity and support, where everyone involved becomes stronger and more resilient. This shared energy fosters deeper relationships and creates a network of mutual encouragement that extends into all areas of life. Finding encouragers often means being intentional about the relationships you cultivate. Not everyone in your life will play this role, and that's okay. It's about identifying the individuals who bring out the best in you, who inspire you to dream bigger, and who remind you of your worth when you forget. These people may be family, friends, mentors, colleagues, or even members of a community or group you join. Building a circle of encouragers also means distancing yourself from those who drain your energy or diminish your confidence. Negative influences, whether they come in the form of constant criticism, discouragement, or a refusal to support your goals, can hold you back from reaching your potential. This doesn't mean you have to cut ties with every negative person in your life, but it does mean setting boundaries and prioritizing the relationships that nourish your growth. Encouragers help you dream bigger than you might on your own. They believe in possibilities even when you're unsure. Their encouragement can ignite a spark in you, pushing you to pursue goals you might have thought were out of reach. They remind you that limitations are often self-imposed and that the world is full of opportunities waiting to be explored. When you surround yourself with encouragers, you create an environment that fosters growth, resilience, and achievement. Their support becomes a foundation on which you can build your dreams, and their belief in you becomes a source of strength in times of doubt. They don't just help you succeed, they help you thrive, reminding you of your potential every step of the way. Dream big enough to risk failing. Dreaming is an act of courage. It's a declaration of hope, ambition, and a belief in something greater than your current reality. But not all dreams are created equal. Some dreams are small, safe, and comfortably within reach. While there's nothing inherently wrong with them, these dreams often lack the transformative power to inspire real growth or meaningful change. To unlock your full potential, you must dream big enough that failure becomes a possibility. Dreaming big is about envisioning goals that stretch you beyond your limits, goals that excite you and at the same time make you a little uneasy. These are the dreams that push you to become more resourceful, more creative, and more determined than you ever thought possible. They require you to step outside your comfort zone and take risks, knowing full well that the path will be uncertain and the outcome not guaranteed. The fear of failure often holds people back from dreaming big. It's natural to want to avoid disappointment or embarrassment. But failure is not the enemy of big dreams, it's a necessary companion. When you set ambitious goals, failure becomes a possibility because you're venturing into uncharted territory, attempting things you've never done before. This vulnerability is what makes the pursuit worthwhile. It's in the willingness to face failure that you find the strength to rise above it. Dreaming big enough to risk failing means accepting that the journey will be challenging. There will be setbacks, mistakes, and moments of doubt. But every failure is a step forward, a chance to learn, adapt, and grow stronger. Each time you stumble, you gain valuable insights that bring you closer to your ultimate goal. Failure is not a detour, it's a critical part of the process, shaping you into the person capable of achieving what you set out to do. Big dreams demand a level of commitment that small dreams do not. When you dream on a grand scale, you must be willing to invest time, effort, and resources. This commitment often involves sacrifices, saying no to distractions, enduring temporary discomfort, or stepping away from what feels familiar and safe, but these sacrifices pale in comparison to the rewards of pursuing a dream that truly matters to you. Dreaming big also inspires those around you. Your willingness to take risks and aim high creates a ripple effect, encouraging others to do the same. It shows them that it's okay to step outside their comfort zones and that failure is not something to be feared but embraced as part of the journey. Your courage becomes a beacon, proving that big dreams are not only possible but worth the effort. Pursuing big dreams also redefines your relationship with failure. Instead of seeing it as a sign of inadequacy, you begin to view it as a badge of honor, a testament to your willingness to try, to dare, and to strive for something extraordinary. You realize that the only true failure is the failure to dream or to act on those dreams. Every other form of failure is simply feedback, a stepping stone on the path to success. Dreaming big enough to risk failing forces you to confront your fears head on. It requires you to ask yourself tough questions. What if I don't succeed? What will people think? What if I'm not capable? These questions can be daunting, but they also hold the key to growth. By facing them, you develop resilience, self-belief, and a deeper understanding of your own strength. You learn that your worth is not determined by your successes or failures, but by your willingness to pursue what truly matters. When you dream big, you tap into your fullest potential. You push past the limitations you once thought defined you and discover abilities you didn't know you had. The pursuit of a big dream reveals who you are and what you're capable of. It's not just about achieving a goal, it's about becoming the person who can achieve it. This transformation is one of the greatest rewards of dreaming big. To dream big enough to risk failing is to live boldly. It's to choose a life of purpose and passion over a life of caution and complacency. It's to embrace the unknown, not with fear, but with curiosity and determination. Big dreams ignite a fire within you, a drive to overcome obstacles, to persevere, and to reach heights you never imagined possible. And in the end, whether you achieve the exact outcome you envisioned or not, the journey itself becomes a triumph. Dreaming big enough to risk failing is not just about achieving lofty goals, it's about embracing the journey of growth, resilience, and self-discovery that comes with it. It's about daring to step into the unknown, to challenge your limits, and to push past fear. Remember, the greatest risk is not in failing, it's in never daring to dream at all. So dream boldly, act courageously, and let every step, whether forward or backward, bring you closer to the extraordinary life you are capable of creating.